Hello from the Global Legal Blockchain Consortium Annual Meeting coinciding with ILTACon 2018 at National Harbor, Maryland. I'm Cori Goudchaux.
I'm Glynna Christian.
And I'm Jay Hull.
And we're on the road with Legal Talk Network. And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us on the road. It's a pleasure to be here. Today we're talking about the upcoming session, Blockchain 101, featured here at ILTACon 2018. Jay, if you'd like to elaborate a little bit more on what's to be expected at this particular session and what you're most excited about.
Sure. Well, we have a 4-part blockchain series at ILTACon this year, and the very first session is Blockchain 101, and the very first speaker in the very first session is Glynna Christian. So Glynna, tell us a little bit about what you do for your work and about your involvement in blockchain.
Sure. I'm the global co-head of tech transactions at Orrick, Herrington, Sutcliffe. So our practice ranges across clients in all industries, especially technology. So as you can imagine, really over the last year to 2 years, I'd say a big percentage of our practice has really been focused on clients that are involved in blockchain. They're either using blockchain as an infrastructure or they're doing something in crypto. So we've been spending a lot of time working with our clients, really examining the technology, understanding how it works, and the risk involved with using it.
And Blockchain 101, what are some of the key points that you're hoping the audience will take away from that session?
Sure. You know, it's interesting because I've spent a lot of time talking about blockchain this year and trying to break it down for lawyers because I have to be able to draw pictures in order to understand how to contract around it and do risk analysis. And the easiest thing for me to tell lawyers is think about it as software servers and databases, really. It is a different form of a network. And so when you're thinking about how do you advise your clients who are using blockchain technology, sometimes just use the word network instead of blockchain when you're talking about that, and that will help you start thinking about it in more traditional context.
And how about some common misunderstandings about blockchain that you encounter?
There are lots of misunderstandings about blockchain. First of all, a lot of people still think that it's really Bitcoin. And blockchain is so much more than just Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. That is what's been getting a lot of the attention in the media and the press lately, of course. There are lots of issues involved with that. But it's really much more than that. And clients are really starting to use the technology itself in different business applications. So that's really changing, and it's not just crypto.
And do you think lawyers will be able to turn the corner and make the changes necessary to really put blockchain to good use?
Absolutely. You know, you already see lawyers turning the corner around cloud services. You know, as an industry, I think maybe we've been a little slower than other industries in using cloud services, for example. But that's something that Orrick has been using for a number of years now. And as you know, we're already looking at blockchain and applications within our firm. Mm-hmm. We're going to be piloting with a client soon around using blockchain in connection with our service relationship. So I think it will speedball and happen pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Do you have some suggestions for lawyers that are interested in blockchain and either for their own practice or maybe for their firm at large? Where would they start?
Well, first of all, they should start by joining the Global Legal Blockchain Consortium because there's a wealth of information that the consortium has, not to mention just a network of other members who are, you know, also very interested in using it or already using it themselves. So it's a great way to connect with other folks in the legal industry and figure out what they're doing, what the analysis have they gone through, and really kind of partner with them. It's a very sharing community and a consortium. So I would absolutely start there. And then just really see what use cases that you have within your own practice or within your firm where blockchain may make sense. Because there are a number of different ways you can increase some efficiencies using blockchain.
Well, you and I first met in January of this year. You've been helping us with.
That,
I know. It feels like a long time. We've worked on a number of great things together. It's really been a pleasure for me to work with you, and the world would be a better place if we had more lawyers like you and more firms like Orrick.
Well, so, thank you, Jay.
Thank you for helping with Blockchain 101 at ILTACon this year.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it, and the feeling is mutual.
Well, we are excited about the upcoming session, and I know that there's a wealth of knowledge and that's coming up in the next few days. We're hoping to dispel some bad rumors about blockchain and also find some exciting stuff that's in the future. One quick question for you, Glynna. What do you think the most exciting application within using the blockchain technology would be for you guys, either with Orrick or just as an attorney?
Most exciting application. Exciting and law firms don't always go hand in hand. So that's a high bar.
Definitely not swinging from chandeliers with it, but I'm.
One of the things that is important for me and something I think we think at Orrick about regularly is how do we interface with our clients? We have a more seamless relationship where there's not as many hoops that our clients have to jump through to do a knowledge transfer for us.
Sure.
And I firmly believe there are ways and things that we're already starting to try to increase that information flow and that knowledge transfer. Because the more we can just be an extended arm of our clients, and I think the better service providers we can be. So I'm really excited about looking at blockchain to do that.
Great. How about for you, Jay?
There are so many great opportunities with blockchain. It's really hard to pick just one. And maybe I'll answer the question this way. I think what's really going to happen is before too long, saying you have blockchain will be like saying you have internet access because it'll just be part of the way we do business every day. Yeah. And it's part of the infrastructure and the way lawyers work and the way their service providers work. And so there will be, I think, actually a declining emphasis on blockchain in the future. It's just, it will be integrated into everything that we do.
Into the fabric of business.
Right. Yeah, I think that's right. Like nobody talks about cloud services anymore just because that's what everybody uses for hosting now.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. And I think that for me, in Integra is really one of the most exciting aspects of what is to come in the future is the day when we aren't having the discussion about blockchain, that it is part of the fabric of business and part of the way that everybody functions anymore. So, well, one last question before we close out for the day. If our listeners would like to follow up, how can they reach either of you?
Sure, I can be reached by email pretty much any time at gchristian@orrick.com.
Great.
And I'm jay@integraledger.com.
Fabulous. Well, we reached the end of the road for today's episode. I want to thank our guests for joining us today, Glynna and Jay.
We also want to thank our listeners for tuning in. If you like what you heard today, please rate us in the Apple Podcast. We'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with Legal Talk Network.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.